I mean, I wasn't throwing without, a little help. So, interestingly enough, today the throws that kind of I struggled with the most were the short little dump downs. Where I'm normally not even thinking about it, and you just flick it. And there was something about those throws that I actually struggled with the most today. But
which one did you remind after a game? Like, have you ever been a part of a game like that? One?
yeah, oh yeah. When you've been, I mean, we beat Cleveland a couple years ago when I was with the Jets in a similar situation. Nick Chubb ran in for a touchdown to go up by 2 scores. They missed the extra point. We went down and scored with under 2 minutes left, got the onside kick, went down and scored again. Now, when we scored, there was probably a little bit less time on the clock. They still did have a chance. They might have completed the ball to midfield or something like that, but they didn't have quite as much time. They probably didn't have any timeouts. We ended up winning the game. So very similar.
What's it like to be on the losing end?
Well, it's tough, I mean, but anytime you're on the losing end, it's tough. I think when you've played a lot of games, it's not the way you lose doesn't make it any worse necessarily. I think you learn that these games come down to the last minute, and you got to be ready for anything. And a win's a win, a loss is a loss.
When did you start feeling you had hope in that game? Late in that fourth quarter?
Obviously, I think when you go down and then you think what you have is a touchdown, and no, it's incomplete, and then you throw an interception. And obviously, at the time, you thought they scored a touchdown. That was probably that at that point, you probably weren't thinking too much about it. But then when we went down and scored for that, when you go down and you score and you make it a one-score game, I mean, anything can happen. Onside kicks, not very likely, but who knows? I think we were down by 14 and we were going out there, and I said, hey, listen, crazier things have happened. Like somebody, a coach that was standing right there, I think it was a tight ends coach. And but I think after maybe there's a little bit of hope after you score that first one, but you're probably at that point. I mean, I think fans are going through the same thing, like as players are at that point. So whatever you were feeling and the fans were feeling, we were probably feeling the same thing.
Were you surprised you threw for 470? Were you surprised when you saw the number, or you threw for 470?
I knew we had been climbing up there at some point because we got so many possessions, and we were really throwing the ball, a lot of the time towards the end of the game. Just the nature of the game. You don't know how high it is. I mean, I've never thrown for 400 in the NFL in my career, so it's the first time.
The way the last 3 games have gone, how do you keep the frustration
Yeah.
from seeping among the offensive players and the way the games have gone? How do you kind of keep?
So what have we played 9 games now? We have 8 left. If you don't keep your head down and go to work, then it's going to be a long, miserable season for you. You can't get distracted, and you can't. Yeah, you're going to be emotional after a game, but at some point you got to let that go. This is our profession. We do this for a living, and we take pride in doing it. And I hope that you would continue to take pride in doing what you do for a living, no matter what the outcome is. And yeah, I mean, maybe that's easier said than done, but that's what you got to do, because this league will eat you up, and it will not be good. I'm sure Baltimore isn't sitting there, tucking their tail between their legs with the record they have. They're probably motivated and excited about the opportunity that they have going forward. I don't think we can look at it any different.
From our perspective, understanding that it's emotional after a loss like that, but it looks like some of the offensive players are gaining some tension towards the defense. I know you talked about it a little bit like that, but what do you do as a veteran?
I just be the same person every day, and don't get frustrated from that. And I go to those guys just like you do, and you don't necessarily have to talk about that specifically, but you just have good conversations with guys about, doing good things and going to work and taking pride in what you do. And I think when you do those things, then you're not just then you don't have time to get mad at people that you shouldn't be getting mad at. We got enough to worry about. Every one of us has enough to worry about on our own plates, that you can't be worrying about everybody else, because then all of a sudden, once again, it's going to be a tough 8 weeks for us if we're worried about what other people are doing. I know team is one. It's one team. In order to have that one team, you need to focus on yourself and do your job, And I get it. It can get emotional, but you know, there's times to be emotional and show people that. But usually when those times are in good things and towards people you love. And I think if we're emotional, then we should come at it with an angle of this is my brother, as opposed to the opposite of that. I just think that's what good, hardworking, tough people do. They don't look at other people. They look inward, and it doesn't matter what the situation is. They look inward.
Why was the connection with T so successful today?
He's really good. I hate to be so simple and have such a bad answer, but I mean, did you see the catch he made on that go route for the first touchdown? I think it was the first touchdown. It was incredible. I mean, I was laughing. It was just stupid. It was crazy. And I think everybody kind of realized it. It was just, I mean, I had one-on-one with him. I don't really know if I should have thrown it up or just come down, but I'm like, it's one-on-one. I'll put one up there. And as I let it go, I honestly was kind of like, I don't know. And the next thing you know, it was a touchdown. So.
What were the last